Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. If you guys enjoy the content that I've been putting on the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button down below. And without any further ado, let's get to today's video. So the other day, Mel got me an early anniversary gift. Our anniversary's coming up, 5-year anniversary's coming up in April, just under a month. And she felt like, since I'm a gamer, she supports me gaming, she supports me streaming, and doing video content for you guys as well. And she figured one nice little thing that she got from Best Buy. Now, this is on sale, apparently. Not really on sale, but she got it like half off because the box was damaged. It is the Mario Kart Racing Wheel Pro Deluxe. And she got this for about half off, or some price knocked off, because of the box has some cosmetic damage to it. And then, of course, there is a sticker on the side or on the top that talks, it says it's container damaged. But I will say, like, even though I already did try this out, so I will be pulling them out piece by piece. There is no plastic wrap, all that's in the trash. So I already did try it out. And I gotta say, I am impressed with it. This is probably not the best steering wheel attachment for games that's out there. There are a lot of much better peripherals when it comes to playing racing games in this sense. But this is a pretty good and pretty cheap way of playing them. So let me take it out of the box for you guys, and let's see what contents we have in here. So there's really not a whole lot to go off of when it comes to pulling stuff out. I will say, first of all, this is the pedals, the accelerator, and the brake, of course. And if I even unwrap the wire here, now I gotta say, and I did see some videos on the pedals portion of the whole thing, and it is pretty uncomfortable, to say the least. Now, even though it sits like this, there is also a plate underneath that folds out to give you a little bit more traction, whether you got it on carpet or whether you got it on tile or whatever. But that is the thing. I had it on carpet, and it still moved around. And just the positioning of the pedals themselves are so upright, you expect them to be a little bit more further down, aiming. But it's also pretty stiff, too. So you can imagine, like, trying to use this, like, you would have to have one foot literally holding onto the whole thing without it sliding and going everywhere else. Now, luckily, it comes in two pieces. You don't have to worry about plugging two USB pieces into a console or whatever. This comes with this is something that kids they will not get. It's a little plug that plugs into the steering wheel. Now, this is the type of plug that you would see if you plugged in a regular landline telephone into your wall, of course. And it's funny to see that, even though those are probably a thing, either they're either a little bit the same size or just a little bit smaller than the telephone wires. But yeah, that's the pedal portion. That's probably the only thing that I could say negative about this thing, is that the pedals are a little bit too stiff. They are in an adjusted height that is a little too uncomfortable for a lot of gamers and a lot of people who choose to use these. And then, of course, here comes the main thing, which is the steering wheel itself. It does not like a complete 360 turn, but it does turn around, and it does have a ton of buttons on there, a ton of button commands where you can actually adjust them to however you play the game, especially with a little switch that I will toggle up here on top of the wheel. If you guys can see that, there's a little switch that toggles between using the D-pad and then using one of these sticks as the left switch stick, the control stick, or the right control stick. You switch between them. You do got these little pedals on the back, usually for games that, if you're driving a car, it's like in manual and such. There is a couple buttons on here on the front, ZR and ZL, as you guys can see. So in case if you don't like using the pedals, you can press these buttons. Like, one would be for brake and reverse, and one would be for accelerating. And of course, you're just driving around. Now, this thing, I already have some suction cups on it. One of them did come off. So the suction cups, they do have suction cups, but I will say they're not that great. They do not really stick all that well, especially with the type of desk that I have. It's like imitation wood. It's not, I don't think it's actual real wood. But you would think with the surface that it is, and especially cleaning it, that they would stick pretty well, but it does not stick down pretty well enough. And that's where this thing comes into play. This is an anchor. So there is a long screw. Let me find a long screw. So there is a long screw attachment that actually goes into the base of this and then attaches to the front underneath of this. And it's a weird kind of screw, the way it screws in. But if I get it in there just a little bit here. So it goes in on the bottom like this, and it adjusts this. So now you can actually sit this on top and then clamp this underneath your desk and tighten it to your preferred tightness. And that does give it a little bit of leeway. So if the suction cups don't really help out as much, if they don't stick to your surface, then I will say use the anchor, because the anchor is definitely a big help. Now, this also connects via USB, and the Switch does have USB ports on it, so you ain't got to worry about trying to connect it wirelessly. Now, big questions are, with this steering wheel, you probably have, does it work on other platforms other than the Switch? Actually, yes, it does. Now, I haven't tried it out on the Xbox Series console to try out any racing games on it or see if it does work, even though they do say on Nintendo forums it does not work on Xbox. However, it does work on PC. It does work on PC, and there are a few games. There is a listing that you can look up for certain PC games that you can find that this wheel will work on, especially games like Forza Horizon 5 and Forza Motorsport 7, which I already tried out, and they do play pretty nicely. However, the settings with the steering wheel being a little too loose or being a little too tight, you would have to go into the games and actually pre-render the settings yourself. So other than that, this is a pretty decent investment. Mel paid well under $100 for this. And right now on Best Buy's website, as you see, it's under, you can get it for like a $98.99, or its original value is $110, basically. So what I say, that something like this, that, yeah, people see it as mainly for children because it's Mario Kart. But I will say it's a pretty decent investment, because steering wheels like this, gaming steering wheels for PC and even console, they usually run anywhere between $200 to $300 to $400 for some really good ones, especially the Logitech ones. However, this one, it does get the job done, especially if you're a PC gamer. If you play games like Assetto Corsa, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that game right. But that's another racing game that I plan on trying out here in the future, and most likely will be streaming for you guys. So, yeah, I did think, Mel, this was a wonderful early anniversary gift. I do love it. Yeah, I know things like this do have their pros and they do have their cons, but you work with them, you work around them, and you make things work. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you got to do with things like this. All right, so what do you guys think? Do you have one of these? Do you know somebody who has one of these? What are your thoughts on the Mario Kart steering wheel Pro Deluxe? What do you think about it? Let me know down in the comment section, guys. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next one.